You have to go through the path. You have to be willing to accept the new environment. You have to find a way to enjoy the new place you are in. You can't just stay as a victim mentality. That's not gonna serve you. You have to really accept what is good at this new society, learn what is good, adopt the new skills, and just drop the stuff that does not align with your beliefs or the way how you've been raised. So you are not obligated to blend in and totally become someone acting like you're born here. You have to be really respectful for your roots. You have to really be mindful about what is really work for you and your family in order to make a difference in the new place.
Welcome back to Narrative Dive, where we are deep diving into the stories dominating our world. Today, joining me is Sairan Aqrawi, who is both an engineer and business strategist dedicated to helping individuals and organizations unlock their full potential through a powerful blend of technical expertise and strategic business insight. Specializes in guiding professionals, especially midlife women, and there are many narratives around midlife women, through career transitions, empowering them with clarity, confidence, and bold action to drive meaningful, measurable results. Her unique approach fuses the precision of engineering with the foresight of business strategy, equipping leaders to make data-driven decisions that enhance operational efficiency, foster innovation, and ensure long-term sustainability. By seamlessly aligning technical capabilities with strategic planning, Sairan helps organizations and individuals future-proof their careers and businesses with an ever-evolving landscape. Given what's happening in AI, I think we can all use that at this point. As a sought-after coach and mentor, Sairan works closely with leaders navigating complex career shifts, professionals seeking to optimize their potential, and organizations striving for operational excellence. She does come from an engineering background, which she diligently applies to her coaching, and her hands-on expertise transforms challenges into opportunities, turning midlife into a powerful launchpad for reinvention and long-term success. Sairan, welcome to Narrative Dive. I'm very happy to have you on today.
Thank you so much, Jessica. I'm very excited to be at your platform.
Excellent. So I want to open this up because you have quite a unique story that I find has really informed your ability to work with people on their own transformations. You had moved from Kurdistan, Iraq to the United States in 1997. There was a lot going on in 1997 in the political landscape and
Yes.
backdrop, which is probably worth a whole other podcast episode. But can you paint a picture of what that transition felt like at the time? How old were you? What dreams were you sort of carrying into this new world?
Yes. When I landed at Guam on December 1996, I arrived to United States, Nashville, Tennessee on March 1997. So I was in my 20, I was in my mid 20, young, not married, having a very different picture about the American dream. In Kurdistan, in Iraq, Middle East in general, we have a certain image about the American dream. And I'm talking back in the 90s, which is very different now. As you know, now the whole world is a small village because of the technology. But back then, when I moved to United States, I have that picture that life will be, yes, will be different. I'm away from my parents, sibling, friends, the support system and the community. But I thought things will be very rosy and it will be very shiny. And there is a paved path for me. People were welcoming me. They said, "Hey, Mrs. Engineer, welcome to United States. This is the job. This is the house. This is the support system." When I was in Guam, they kind of explained to us the reality about the life in the United States. But it's never the same when you really hit yourself the reality, when you'll be like, now what? I arrived, there is a culture shock, there is a language barrier, although I was speaking the languages, but still there was a lot of stereotyping, racism around, your accent, where you're coming from, you are not good enough for this job. So it's take time. You're moving to different places, even as an American. Let's say if you move now to Dubai, and if you have the most, expensive business making money and you have the best LinkedIn page and credential, that does not mean you're going to have an easy, a journey in Dubai because the culture is different. The people you communicate, they have from different background. So when I came to answer your question, it was scary. It was kind of like embracing the unknown. I was going to something that I don't know if it will be a success or be something that I'll be feel sorry that I made a decision to come here. But I'm glad I did, and I can call here home. And I'm happy that I start a family and a business and pursue my degree. And here I am talking to you.
Excellent. And you actually contributed this to a book chapter. It's called The Truth About the American Dream,
Yes.
where you share these adaptation challenges. How did those early struggles prepare you to help others navigate these major life transitions?
Yes, those struggle and blocks, if I come now after being here for 29, 30 years, and if I telling you those blocks are gone and you can pretend they are vanished and not there anymore, that's not the real answer because those blocks is still here. For anyone who moved to United States or to move anywhere else outside United States, there should be some process phases that you go through in order to get along and adapt the new environment you are in. This is why my first niche or niche for say when I did my business, it was around transition expert because I was able to speak with those women who had technology background and engineering degree. They come to United States. Again, they thought the same way that I thought 30 years ago that the path will be easy. And the American dream is about finding a job right away, finding a house right away, finding the right partner right away. So I was able to explain those obstacles to them. But I was actually telling them the truth all the time, saying, don't expect to be an easy process. You have to go through the path. You have to be willing to accept the new environment. You have to find a way to enjoy the new place you are in. You can't just stay as a victim mentality and calling every single person who talked to you as a racist. That's not gonna serve you. You have to really accept what is good at this new society, learn what is good, adopt the new skills, and just drop the stuff that does not align with your beliefs or the way how you've been raised. So you are not obligated to blend in and totally become someone acting like you're born here. You have to be really respectful for your roots. You have to really be mindful about what is really work for you and your family in order to make a difference in the new place.
Absolutely. Oh, yes. And you also went from an engineering career to becoming a transition coach. What prompted you to go into this? Was this your own transitions?
Well, I have not left the technology yet. I've been in engineering for over 30 years. That's telling you I'm really old. I graduated many, many years ago. I'm still in love with engineering. I think this is why I'm not yet ready to leave the tech totally. I feel like I still have a lot to offer and change on the tech world, especially for women in midlife like me in my mid 50s. So I feel like I'm not yet ready to drop the technology, but I was able to start a side business right after I finished my master degree. And I opened a platform about international transition expert for those women who come to United States who's looking for the American dream. So I done that niche or niche for almost 4 or 5 years for quite time. And then my mentor asked me if I'm willing to pivot and change my niche. And I was ready and I had the tenacity and the courage. I was like, okay, and now what I'm gonna do? I think I'm able to find others to find their niche or their hidden talent. So I become a business strategist. So now my new website is under my name. So it does not have like the same coaching package that I used to have in my other niche. Right now, I'm focusing on a professional midlife. I say women, but I still get clients who are male. They contact me through ICF because I'm a certified coach, ACC with ICF. And they ask me to mentoring them at least for their 10 sessions so they can get certified or just in general, I get a lot of client men and women asking me to help them or guide them to find their niche. So they are in IT, they are a lawyer, they are in medical, industry, but they know they have something else that they can offer. They have some hidden passion or love to something they used to do in their 20 or their teen, but they kind of like left took them away. They got married, they've been working, day job, 9 to 5, and kind of like that hidden talent or hidden gem being muted. That's where I come as a coach, and I guide them through 28 days clarity program. I help them to gain clarity and emphasize on what is really they are good at, which we call it core genius or hidden gem, and how they can monetize it as a side business and not necessarily quit your job. If you have a hidden talent, if you are, let's say, a full time an IT and engineer and you make good money, but you paint very nice, I will never ask you to quit your job. That's not my intention. That's not my message here. My message here, as long you love your job as an IT, but you still have other passion as a painting or doing things with your hand, why you don't just share that skills and passion with the world? Why you don't just put it on an Instagram page if you want to monetize it? If you end up making a lot of money out of that side business, you're going to quit that job without coming back to me. You don't need to come back to me and telling me you're making millions out of your side business. It's just you need to bring it to the service, share it with the universe, and also celebrate it with others.
Absolutely. And there is an elephant in the room here, right? And that's this narrative. One of my favorite narratives as I'm entering closer into middle age is that society often tells us there's an expiration date on career pivots, and especially women tend to get hit with this narrative pretty hard. What's the most damaging myth that you encounter about midlife career changes? Do people say, "Oh, I'm too old to start over," or "This is not going to work"?
Yes. Yeah, most of the, especially women, we have this script or already belief tattoos in our head saying, I hit 50, I'm old. We always, I don't know why we enjoy saying that word, which is nothing wrong with that. My birthday coming next week, and I don't want to hide it from anyone. Oh, I will be 55, 56, 57. Of course you have to get older. What are you expecting? 1 year from now you are getting older. That's add wisdom, add experience, that's add thing a lot of golden nuggets to your personality and your characters and your charisma. Because even like talking about confident, I always tell women, why are you calling yourself old when you hit your 50? Don't you feel more confident? They said, yes. I said, don't you love that? Did you have the same confidence when you were in your 20? No. So that's mean the age come with prices. When you hit your 50, it came with your confidence, more confidence. That's a price, right? That's price is like a trophy in your hand. This is why I don't like it when they call it is a midlife crisis. Why you call it a crisis? Where is the crisis coming from? Which book, which manual? Who told you is a crisis? It's in your hand and your ability to make that word, tweak that crisis word to priceless. Something with price, a lot of prizes, trophy in your hand. This is the golden time that you raise your kids, you establish in your marriage life, establish your career. This is your time. You have to claim it. Your 50 is your time. Claim it, enjoy it, celebrate it. This is the time that you have to own the table, own the space, saying, I'm 50, I'm wiser, I'm more competent, I'm more confident, so I can start a business. I never thought in a million years I will have a side business when I was in my 20. I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have that tenacity and courage saying, I'm starting a business. I thought if I just do engineering, that's perfect. I didn't have that confidence in my theory. I was busy raising two kids. I have them one after another. I didn't have it even my early 40 because I was finishing my master's degree. I thought that, oh, degree is a big deal. Fine. Now 50. You're just going to look at the wrinkles in your face. Is that serving you? I don't think so. 50 is your golden year. You have to really thrive in it. The pivot, yes, it's scary. The pivot is uncomfortable. Anything is uncomfortable, it's going to take you to best version of yourself. Anything is easy, that's mean you're staying the same. When you are in your 50 and you try a new thing, a new path, starting a business, going to different company, you're going to be uncomfortable, that for sure. But after a couple of months, you'll be so happy that you did that transition because we'll change you, we'll take you to the best version of yourself. Midlife, it's not a waiting room. It's a new frontier.
That's absolutely true. Yes. And There's different fears and concerns of someone making a career change at 25, 45, or 55, like you mentioned. What are the differences in those concerns? So if I'm 25 years old making a career change and then I'm 45 and 55, what concerns would I have apart from those ages?
Yes, of course, there is different level and kind of fear. When you are in your 20, you want to blend in. You want to be a popular. You want all your friends like you. You want to be invited to all parties and wedding. You want to be everywhere. You want to look happy and have the perfect partner. You want to have the best clothes and brand name. 20, everything looks so colorful, right? It's like life is good. I'm young. I can do whatever. So you seek that validation and acceptance from a lot of people, and you feel bad if your post or if your blog or your article didn't make it to a lot of people, acceptance, and they didn't like it, they didn't give you a positive, feedback. 30 and 40 is different. You're still surging, you're still progressing, you're finding your way, you're changing your job. But the fear in the 50 is different. It's the ego. We think that I'm in my 50, I'm an engineer, I have a certification and a degree. My title in LinkedIn should speak up for me. No, no one will speak up for you. And you are not too old. You still have time to thrive. You still have time to shine. So the fear in the 50 is so embarrassing if I fail. I'm 50. Now, if I start a business, people will make fun of me. Okay. That's what I tell my client. If this is what you think, go back to the reason why you start the business first place. Is that for the validation or for people to clap for you and say, oh, look at her. She's starting a business in their 50. If this is the reason why you're starting a business, that's a really bad reason. But if the reason for starting a business your own to make a change, leaving an impact, and make a positive, effect on others, that's a good source of that's a good reason for you to continue doing it. So the fear, it's again, is the ego you have. You feel like you gotta do it under your 50 and it's gotta be successful in a couple of months. I have to make money. Well, it's embarrassing. I'm 50. Where is these narrative coming from? It's all from our mind. We create those sentences. We create those stories. No, everybody's busy doing their own thing. No one is busy telling you, oh, what you done last month is wrong. We make up those things. It's assumption we make. And every time when you don't have data, the assumption doesn't serve you because there is no data and fact telling you that. This is why when I coach women, I said, I use my engineering strategy thinking to measure your success because anything is not measured, is not exist. But when you hit your 50, you assume that things will get easier. Things never easier. The challenge is still there. But the difference between the fear from the 20 and 30 and the 50, you should not care about much about what people gonna say about you if you start a business in the 50. And your 20 is normal because you are young and you want to fit in. You want to be a popular among your friends. But that should not be the case in your 50. You should be in a space of confident and competent that having the belief and the impact in your mind saying, I'm still going to do it. Even if it's not going to succeed in 6 months, so what? I will never give up. I'm still going to do it.
Exactly. And why do you think women in particular struggle with that narrative of it's too late for reinvention? Because there's a lot of talk right now about the intersectionality of menopause. For
Yes.
the first time, I'm sure you've come across this, for the first time, menopause has been really put at the forefront of the discussion in terms of midlife for women and all of the medical concerns and side effects that it causes. And from what I've seen, there's kind of blends in with that narrative of, well, one of the untruths that women have always been told, or lies that essentially lies that women have always been told, is that midlife is too late to reinvent themselves. And what do you think about that?
I hear it from different nationalities. So it's not necessarily I'm from Middle East, but I even hear it from other women who I know they are from Western, from Asia or Russian or anywhere around the world. It's the way we've been raised by our parents. I mean, back then, your mother and my mother, they didn't know better back then in the 50 and 60. They thought they never realized or imagined that the world will change this much with the technology and AI. So they raise us around those beliefs. What I tell my client, stop using those beliefs because they are expired. They are outdated. The belief I had from my mom, with all respect to her, she's not longer, she passed away 23 years ago. I love her to death, but there been a lot of belief that she raised us. She raised me and my sister around is women has to be quiet. We should not claim our space. We should not speak up. We should not even laugh freely and loudly because that's not a sign of respect. I don't know where those beliefs come from, but she got married in 1955. That's how it's the society and the community also teach her around, right? So she didn't know better. I should not complain and blame her for those beliefs. No blame here, no complaint, no whining, but I have to realize those beliefs that she teach me when I was in my teen and my 20, it's expired. It's outdated. The world is changing. And I'm not suggesting that she said to be quiet and now I'm telling you to be loud. That's is not the opposite. It's just a different approach. Being a strong woman with a great charisma and personality, that doesn't mean you have to have a strong body language and, head the table when you talk and have a loud voice. That's not what I'm trying to say. The key here is to claim your space and right. If you are in the room and you've been asked to speak up when you need, speak up when you know that your sentence will make a change and an impact. You are not a strong woman or leader just to speak up for the heck of speaking. It doesn't add anything, right? So sometimes, as a leader, as a woman leader, actually, you need to be quiet because you don't want to be mixed on the wrong crowd when there's people who are not the same level of your intelligence and they are not having level of wisdom. You speaking back to them, it's making you part of them. And you don't want to people get confused between you and people who are not the same level. So for women to think that they are not ready or there's too late for them to pivot or transition and make any transformation, those come from old belief, the way how they raise us, the society, the previous partner, the bad ex who tell us, oh, I'm leaving you because you are old. I'm leaving you because you are not able to have a kid. These are all from negative connotation that we receive, sometimes from the loved one, like our parent, or from someone who didn't deserve us. And we keep thinking about those negative. Then why you don't think about all the positive feedback that you receive along the way as well? So yes, the ageism is here again. It's the same thing like obstacle when you come to different country. You cannot delete or cancel those beliefs totally. I can be in 100 podcasts. I can write million of blogs saying 50 is not old. Talk is cheap. I have to act and believe and take action as 50 is not old, not just to say it. Saying it is nothing. You have to really believe in it and act like your 50 is your start.
That's definitely a powerful mantra for anybody to have. And so in getting practical on that wisdom, what are the first 3 steps you'd recommend to someone who's in that mentality, sort of feeling stuck and afraid that they've missed their window of change? What would be the first 3 steps?
First 3 steps. The first important things, you have to be clear really why you are stuck. Where are the stuff that you keep repeating, telling yourself, I'm stuck, I'm not capable? Gain the clarity. It's like navigation. If you don't have that clarity, navigation in front of you, knowing where you are and where you are heading to, where you going, there is a blue map, like there's a strategy. The vision is there. It's very easy to have a beautiful vision, but where is your strategy plan? This is why strategy is very important because it's a steps 1, 2, 3. So to answer your question, the 3 very 3 steps that you need to do is first clarity. Second, take a small action. You got to take action. Without action, we can speak about women empowerment, best life ever. Without me doing the first act, my talk doesn't mean anything You have to take action, even if it's a very teeny tiny small action, that you pick up the momentum and you go for the bigger step. Number three, the most important is to be consistent. You keep doing what you're doing. You can't just do one step and celebrate the success and call it a day, because self improvement is an endless process. You can't just have one certification and degree and get a good job and you call yourself a successful. You are not. You keep going because there is a lot to learn, there's a lot to touch, right? So, clarity, action, and consistency.
I would definitely agree with that. Success is something that's continuously earned, I would say, and not, and people do have that, there's that common narrative of once I get to X or this one place, then I'm completely successful and I've
Yes,
made it.
yes.
And do you ever really make it? No
No,
matter no
no,
matter where you go. I
no.
think it's a you're like chasing a fleeting illusion when you believe that you've actually.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
And you hear it. There was an interview with Dr. Maya Angelou. I think the interviewer was telling her, "Oh, you know everything." And this is Dr. Maya Angelou. I mean, I think she was like speaking for five languages with all the knowledge and expertise she has. She said, "I don't think I know everything, but I do know a lot." If she said that I don't know everything, I should not come here and say I'm a smart engineer. I know a lot. I know nothing. I'm still learning. I'm still discovering. I'm still searching. I might know better than an engineer who graduated last June. Yes, that's true because she was in school. She was reading the book. She passed engineering like me, but she don't have the real expertise that I have for the past 30 years. Then she can have me as a mentor because I know a little bit more than her, but that doesn't make me, again, know everything. I know more than someone who just graduated. This is why when people asking me who we should contact or who we should be mentored by who, you always want to be mentored by someone who reached the goal you want, right? But they are a little bit ahead of you. Not a lot. You are not, hiring Jeff Bezos to mentor you because he will never do. I mean, he's way there, right? But you hire someone that who's ahead of you and the path you're willing to achieve in order to guide you to the version that you want to achieve.
I want to distinguish some of the concerns about transition that your clients would have. You have like fear-based limitations and then really practical concerns. Fear-based limitations, I would say, are more based on narratives, like you mentioned,
Yes.
I'm too old, or people will judge me, or the people in my network will laugh if I post on certain things.
Yes.
And then the other one is a more practical concern, like financial responsibilities to one's family. So, how do you help your clients distinguish between those and address those?
Yes, and this is a very good question, and I'm glad that you asked that because a client come to me and they want everything at once. I have client in their early 30s. She want to get pregnant. She want to earn her master. She want to travel. She want to travel the world. She want to be in a big company, who's required traveling. Okay, you want to get pregnant and you want to travel and you want to have a degree. These are all beautiful goals, and I don't want you to drop none of them. But I always ask them, what is the priority? So, going back to answer your question, some fear about practical things, or is the fear from something, it's your own head, is the mindset that you have that I'm too old to start this. You have to be clear exactly what you want. Because sometimes, again, going back to that client, if you want to get pregnant and have a baby, then you cannot join a big company who put on their application there's a 50% travel, because you have to be practical and logic here. This is your first baby. You want to have a healthy pregnancy, enjoying having the baby after. Then how are you going to be in an employer who's requiring you to travel 50%? So you have to be clear and you have to sit down with yourself and write it down. Okay, the first things, I'm in my 30s. This is the first time I'm getting pregnant. Baby is number one. Then after you deliver that baby, then you can think about earning your master's degree. The job will still be there. If you are capable and if you mastering your game, that job will never go away. But the ability to have the baby and earning the degree is better to have it in the 30 and 40. You don't want to wait until you're 54 to have the first baby, right? So there is a sequence of event. Don't be all over the place. It's nice to dream about million things, but you have to put them in perspective. And I always tell people, if you can achieve the three things you have in a day, you did hit the perfect day, because only three things, focusing on only three things, that's mean you gain the product that you planned the day before. You can have million things because you're going to give 20% to number one, 30% to second, third, and 15% to the fourth one. You have not given the 100% to the things you put on your list. I'm having a podcast with you, Jessica. I'm only doing podcasts. I'm not multitasking. I'm not reading a text or email. I'm not doing something in a
Thank
side.
you.
I'm focusing with you because I'm honoring the time. I'm respecting your platform, and I'm respecting myself as well, because this is going to jeopardize my reputation as a businesswoman. Saying that she was in a podcast, but she was busy reading an email. You can tell from her eyes she was checking the screen or reading a text, answering her daughter, whatever. That's no good. You want to focus on one things, because when you focus on that one things, that's how you become a master.
That's absolutely true. And in this viewpoint of women in their 30s wanting everything at once, I did experience that as well in my 30s personally, where you start having that age where the amount of people having babies really converges on you. And you're going, okay, I'm 35, now I'm 36, now I'm 37. Uh, I don't have a partner, and what am I gonna do, you know? There's just this, like, fear, but then you also have a career to manage, and there is that narrative of the
Yes,
woman who has it all and is doing it all, which I find to be a little bit of a damaging narrative because it's
it
not.
is.
Is it possible? Yes, but is it in our best interest to try to
Yes.
do everything?
Yeah.
And
True.
then if we don't hit every one of those things, we suddenly feel like a failure, or we are made
Failure.
to feel
Yeah.
like a failure.
Yeah.
For example, I've traveled all over the world, I've lived abroad. I don't have children, but I've been made to feel like a failure by certain groups of people and
Yeah.
online.
Society. Yeah. Society. Yeah. Yeah. Or
Exactly.
some group they telling you it's too late. Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, why did you never do that? And so then this narrative about me gets painted, or my persona, that I'm hashtag child free because I want to travel around the world and do XYZ. And I ignored having children. And it's actually far from the truth. A lot of women probably don't have children because of medical reasons, or they never
Yeah.
found the right
True.
partner, which was my
True.
case.
True.
And so there's a lot of judgment that women
A lot
undergo.
of judgment. Yeah, a lot of judgment. And I'm glad you say that. And thank you for sharing this. This is very brave from you sharing your own experience. And I've been through that too, because in my culture, you get married early 20. If you reach 25, 26, people say, what's wrong with you? Are you okay? So to my mom, 26 was very late when I got married. And I had my son when I was 30. That's too late for my culture. My mom was like, what's going on? Why are you not having? So there's, and I'm saying my mother, that's the closest, and not even friend or family, right? There's always judgment. And I always tell my client this when they said, I think I don't have it all, because when I open that Instagram, when I see my friend from high school, or the friend that who I was very close in college, she got married from the rich man. They are traveling. She has beautiful son and daughter. She has it all. And I always ask them, how you know she has it all? And they said, look at her page. I said, one more time, how you know she has it all? Her Instagram page does not mean she has it all. She's showing you that she has it all. You don't know what she's going through. You don't know if one of the family having a very bad disease that there is no cure for. You don't know any mental issue inside the family. You don't know the fine. You don't know anything. You just see that picture, which is very vivid in the Instagram. She's in the boat. She's traveling with her husband. We judge the appearance a lot. Yes, appearance is important, but your message, your impact, Jessica, to the world, not having a partner and kids, it's different than the message I'm here married and having a kid. Your uniqueness to make the change is different than the uniqueness I'm doing in the world to make a change. That does not make you less or more than me. What I have doesn't make me better than you. My path, having a kids and married, doing something, maybe a part of the puzzle, your path doing something else in your career and podcast, another piece of the puzzle. Together, we complete the puzzle. So you don't have to be a copy paste for me in order to feel you have it all, because I don't have it all.
Except nobody does. I'm
Nobody have. But if you look at my page on Instagram, you'll like, wow, look at her. Well, what? What do you know? Have you seen the dark day I've been through? Have you seen me when I was on my knee crying and seeking clarity and raising two kids alone while their dad was always deployed? How you know I have it all? We all suffer. We all have sad story. But social media, and I'm one of them, I have to have a social media in order to promote my business. I'm not going to show myself crying on Instagram. I have to have a message to other women saying, hey, I'm in my 50. If you are willing to start a business, I can be a guide to you. But that doesn't mean I have it all. I didn't even have half of it yet. Not even the all, not even half. Right? I'm still searching, I'm still learning, and I'm still figuring out what is the best things to do in order to make a change.
I love that. Yeah, that's very true. And said, I'm curious to hear what is your most surprising career pivot story. So either personally from you or from one of your clients.
I have so many stories that's I was surprised even to hear. Like I have a client, she was much younger than me. She was, I think, 30 or 31. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful lady, and amazing career. She had, I think, two boys. She has like three babies, one after another. I think two boys and one girl. Her husband was very successful. She lived in $2 million, $3 million house, financially comfortable. And when she opened the Zoom for the first time, I was like, again, have it all, right? She has everything. She has the look, she has the degree, she has the husband, she has the kids. Nothing to me. Just looking at it the first time when we talked for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, she started crying, and I was surprised. What in the world should be her problem? And you'll be surprised what she told me. She said she has zero confidence of herself.
Uh,
Zero. And I literally I have to make her repeat because I didn't believe what I'm hearing. She was like 31, I think, not even 32. She was 30, 31. Beautiful. And everything else, I looked at her LinkedIn, I looked at her resume, I looked at the company she worked at, and I just couldn't believe what she told me. And I said, where does this come from? She said, I know, it's very surprising. And I listened to your story. You came from Kurdistan, Iraq. You were always, mindful about, improving your English and going back to school. She said, Sairan, I will buy all what you got for $1 million. Just give me your confidence. And I'm like, where does this come from? And the more we talked, then she hired me for 3 months. Back then, I used to have a 3 month package and 6 month package. And I realized it was all belief that she has. She kept it alive. She never outdated those beliefs. Those beliefs were never expire in her head. She was keep telling herself, even when she got the best man, best husband, best kids, best job, she keep telling her she is not enough. She's not smart. She's not capable. She would tell me she's even afraid to speak up in meeting, thinking that the whole meeting, people who sitting on the table, they will laugh at her. And
wow.
she was American, born in America. She was not even foreign, right? So I was very surprised, and this is why I think I posted yesterday on my Instagram. I said, try to be kind to everyone because we don't know which kind of story they have in their head. Don't just look at their image. If I show you her picture, you might think she's a beauty pageant. She has it all, right? That's what you think, looking at all the social media she has. But she was someone who's suffering from lack of confidence and self-esteem. So each one of us have a story. You just have to dig deep and see what is really those obstacles, being clear what you exactly want in order to start the very first step.
That's very true because I know a lot of people. I travel a lot, and I've had several friends, especially friends I haven't talked to in a long time, who say, "Oh, but I have a fear of flying." I'm like, "Well, so do I."
Everyone.
Admittedly, sometimes I need to just be on steady white wine, drinks to get through a bumpy
Yeah.
flight, for example.
Yeah.
But you just have to kind of deal with the fear and
Yes.
do it.
Yes.
So for listeners speaking of dealing with fears, for listeners who are sitting in their car right now and they're frustrated about something and they're thinking, okay, maybe it's time, but they're also feeling paralyzed at the same time, what's one thing that they can do this week to take the first step forward? into a transition?
This week, right away. Okay.
We'll
Yeah,
give
I
them
think,
7
yeah,
days.
yeah. The very first things you can do, and everyone is capable to do that, just to seek a mentor. You got to speak with someone who's ahead of you a couple of steps or 10 steps because you want to ask them powerful question how they got there. No one got it overnight. No one. This is not a 3 days manual process that you get to your best version. This is not a painkiller you take it in order to get rid of your headache. This is an endless process and a journey. But at least to answer your question, the very first thing that they can do this week is to schedule a call with a coach or mentor. I'm not going to say coach, let's just call him a mentor, someone or a leader at the job or a business owner who you see your version in them, who you imagine yourself in their spot. Schedule a meeting with them or 30 minutes with them. Just say, what should I do? The very first step. And this is important because they hold you accountable. Mentor and coaches, I'm speaking for myself. I'm very bold in my coaching. And that's telling you I'm an engineer because everything's number 1 plus 1. And I actually received that. I don't know if it's a compliment or a bad uh, feedback. They said I'm really harsh the very first 3 sessions. And I have to. I have to be. I'm not here to make you feel good. You hire me, you pay me in order to make you a better version. So I cannot come to the session just telling you you are beautiful and you're smart and give you the hug and high five. That doesn't take you anywhere. I'm going to do that later when I see if you are doing what I ask you to do. So coaches and mentor, they are a good accountability partner because they see the progress on you. They tell you, oh my God, look at you. Look how much you changed from 3 months ago. So the very first things for the sake of your audience, pick up the call, schedule a Zoom or even a phone call with someone that you inspire or you love to be in their, space and ask them for guidance.
I would definitely agree with that. I've had many mentors that have certainly stood behind me and cheered me on, and even in moments of where there's a lack of clarity about what should I do next, they've stepped in and said, "Hey, let's talk about this for a little bit." It's very helpful to have that and just a wonderful resource. So, is there any question that you wish that I had asked you but did not yet ask you?
This is a good one. Yeah, I think what will be the price that you pay if you don't live your dream? It's very costly if you don't do it. You don't want to have that guilt when you're leaving this world when you are 75 and 80. You said, I wish if. Take that if away and just do it now. So the question I would say that's what's wake up people up. You wake them up, say, hey, if you are not changing now, if you are not pivoting now, if you are not going to your best version, what is the cost? And the cost is very high.
There's, I think it was a nurse, hospice nurse that wrote about people that were on their deathbed
Yes,
and in their final moments, and she said there was like the 7 major regrets.
yes,
Don't quote me exactly on this because this has
yes,
been turned into a social
yes,
media
yeah,
meme.
yeah, no, I know, yeah,
And
yeah,
that's actually one of the biggest
yes,
regrets that people have I should have done X. It was what I really wanted to do, and I never did it because something always got in the way, and
yes, yeah. Don't carry it with you. It's very heavy. Don't
exactly.
carry it. Just leave this world empty, like Les Brown said. I mean, you come empty, you leave empty. Make it full journey. Do what you love to do, and don't wish for something when it's too late. Just do it now.
Exactly. And so there's a question that I try to ask every guest on all of the episodes, and that is what specific narrative or story have you challenged lately? And what did you learn? Other than the I'm too old or
Yeah. Oh,
ones that we talked about.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think lately the one that I've been challenged is about the leadership as a woman. And they always question, oh, she cannot be a leader because she's a woman. She's going to make decision from her heart. There is a lot of empathy and sympathy and all that emotion. This is the thing that you keep hearing from others. And I see a lot of phenomenal, women who's in the leadership, who they make their brain speak with their heart. They are very bold and very precise and concise, but they have that empathy. They feel you. They are a good listener. They are a great communicator. They call their team and they said, tell me what is bothering you. And they take action. They are very bold, they are very precise, right? But they still have that soft, part of them as a woman, their intuition very high, and they know there's something really bothering you. So they call you to their room and they said, what is really bothering you? Can you share that with me? I'm the leader of the division. I would love to make a difference and make you comfortable in order to stay in my team. So the idea that I see as challenge is leadership, especially for women, is not necessarily someone with a perfect LinkedIn, with someone with PhD degree, with someone with so many credential or degree in their LinkedIn and claiming it. I'm the head of this department. I'm important. Leadership is someone who really master the communication. They know how to communicate with others. They understand you because they listen to you. And I always believe a great communicator are a great listener. So that's the idea I've been challenged lately because people think, oh, you have to be strong. You have to be loud. Your LinkedIn has to have all those credentials. Trust me, I'm in construction and engineering for over 35 years. You see, some people have such a humble title or resume, but they are the best people to work with because they are best in communication. But you look at their LinkedIn, very simple. And you have others where their LinkedIn look like, a rocket sign. But when you talk to them, you will feel sorry that you even start the conversation with them because they have no sense of, anything for even to communicate with. So I feel like leadership skills is changed. There is a lot of EQ involved with IQ. If you are perfect in your technology, or if you are a doctor or a lawyer, that doesn't make you a leader. There is other skills, and one of them is communication in order to make you the best leader.
On the Diary of a CEO, they brought the author of the book Psychology of Money, and they asked him, what is the number one business skill? And he said, hands down, learn how to communicate, because that is what distinguishes good leaders from bad leaders when you don't have a strong sense of your own communications abilities. And when I started in communications after I was a human rights journalist, and I remember at the time, communications was very much viewed as a soft skill that was expendable, an expendable resource. And more often than not, I've also had, if you work with larger companies, people construe communications with event planning and, plan this baby shower.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I
there's
know.
nothing wrong with that, but it's not the same thing. And in my process of speaking with a lot of different employers as well, I noticed that they have different definitions of what communications means. Some think that it means more of like a chief of staff person or an administrative assistant. And then others think, okay, this is the voice of the organization from a more narrative standpoint. So it's very interesting that you brought up the communication and leadership, because that has, I think, my subject matter expertise area has evolved tremendously in the last 10 to 15 years as a valued skill set. And AI is going to change that as well. But I don't think we're going to get away from direct human communication with
Yeah,
AI. Some
true,
people would disagree, but I don't
true,
think so.
true, true. Totally agree with you. And just listening and just experience your question that you gave me today. They were all good questions. That's telling me you are a good communicator
Thank you.
because your question is deep. It wasn't just like, a normal question that I hear before. And the variety of the things that you have done, that's what does make you a better communicator because you are not doing one things all the time, right?
Exactly.
So when you do
Yeah.
different things, you have that exposure to different community, and that's make you even a better listener because again, going back to what we said earlier, we judge. We judge so quickly when people talk and we assume our ego so high. Oh, I am higher than them on on the department. Let me just answer them right away. We don't digest what's being told in front of us. We need to just give it a thought, pause, digest what is being said, and become a better communicator to reply and not just respond to event. Because by default, human, we like to respond so quick. Let me answer that person. Let me tell them how smart I am. We don't have to. If you're smart, you don't need to market for. People will see it.
I was listening to a podcast with a bunch of editors from different magazines, and they were talking about hiring journalists. And one of them said, I've had journalists that went to Columbia and some of the big fancy schools.
Mhm.
And then I've had people that were relatively unknown who were newer who actually wrote better than the
Mhm.
people who went to fancy
Yeah,
schools. And I
I
mean,
believe.
I admit I guess I went to Northwestern as somewhat of a fancy school. I guess you could say maybe they would want me to say that. But I mean, for example, I'm a terrible proofreader. I'm not good at, proofreading grammar mistakes, but I am good at long form writing. So the school stamped is not a one
Yeah,
size fits all.
it's not.
This person's excellent at everything. It really is not. So it's
The
yeah.
real school is life. You can finish all the book in college, nothing wrong with that. That's a plus. That's not against anyone who's going their master or PhD degree. I have respect for all the school system, right? But the real school is life. Life will teach you a lot of things that school never touch.
No, definitely not. Well, Sairan, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you today on Narrative Dive. Thank you for your wisdom and your insights and for giving all of us a breath of fresh air in knowing that midlife is not a death sentence.
No,
There is there is new life and new opportunities ahead of everyone.
totally. Thank you very much, Jessica, for having me and for the sake for your audience. And as a gift to give to your podcast, anyone who mention your name or your podcast platform, they will get 15 minutes complimentary with me on both platform, Instagram and LinkedIn. I can give them 15 minutes on their LinkedIn page, how to make their LinkedIn page more appealing and attractive and highlight their skills and experience. And also if they are willing to open an Instagram page for their side business, I'll give them 15 minutes complimentary as well.
Thank you so much. I will definitely put that in the text below.
Thank
So
you.
your website and everything, so
Thank you.
everyone can join. But thank you so much.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you very much.